Yes, everybody, welcome back to Football United TV. I'm your host, Matt, and we're going to be delving into the Champions League, which is back this week. Finally, interest in European football, and I can't wait for it. Quarter finals of the Champions League. And you know what's coming first before we start this show? It's the intro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night from wherever you are in the world tuning in today. Welcome back to Football United TV. We have been on a little bit of a break recently. Obviously, the upsetting news of Stephen a month or so ago made me feel like I just wanted to go out and just kind of do things in my own time and not be on streaming so much. So I do apologize for not doing so much content recently, but we are back in this. Today, we're starting off fresh after an Easter weekend. And I hope you had a brilliant time this bank holiday, wherever you are in the world. We're talking about the Champions League quarterfinals. I'm going to be talking about the fixtures and who I think might prevail to the semi-finals. And of course, it starts off tomorrow, Tuesday night. And if I just can share the screen for you, everybody, so we can see what fixtures are coming up. Here we go. Have we got it? Is it up? Yes, it is. Right. So there it is. Quarterfinals, the road to Istanbul, and Man City versus Bayern Munich. When it wants to load up, is the first one on the roster tomorrow, and it's at the Etihad, of course. And this is quite an interesting one, to be fair, because João Cancelo was obviously sold to Bayern Munich in the January transfer window. So this will be very interesting. He was very good for Man City, and he hasn't been too bad for Bayern. They are now top of the Bundesliga, I think 2 points ahead of Dortmund, and then Union Berlin just below them. So it's going to be a very interesting tie. And there's a fact, actually, I found out about Bayern Munich, that they sell the most shirts around the world of any football club. And it's very strange, isn't it? Because you think that Bundesliga isn't really the most attractable league to go to for players at the moment, you know, because it's the 50+1 situation, isn't it? And players, if they're wanting to get the big money, if they are very decent players, they'll more than likely go to Premier League at this moment in time. La Liga used to be, but obviously due to Barcelona and Real Madrid's problems, they can't lure the players like they used to. So this will be an interesting game. Man City obviously really happy about Arsenal drawing yesterday at Liverpool, looking at them in the league and the fact that they are catching up very slowly. It's still in Arsenal's hands, of course. And like Anthony says here in the comments, I don't know whether you can see it. What's he saying here? He says, big up all. Can't wait for Champions League season. Haven't been in it for a while. And happy 41st birthday to Mikel Arteta. So, yeah, Arsenal, of course, are going to be it next season. So, very exciting for you, Anthony, and everybody else that supports Arsenal. But is this Man City's turn or time to win the Champions League? They've made a final before, obviously, with Chelsea and losing that. Guardiola, it's literally on his list, isn't it? It'll be a fairly decent season, I think, for Man City if they go on to win the Champions League but don't win the Premier League or anything else. But they might win the FA Cup. They've got a very good chance of that, obviously, in the semi-finals. But they're really looking for Champions League, aren't they? But you never can write off Bayern. You know, they've got the likes of Mane and Sane playing there as well. They've got very decent players at Bayern Munich still. It isn't the Bayern Munich of old, of course. They are very vulnerable at the back, I do find. But It's going to be a very interesting game. I do think so. I can only see Man City winning the home leg. Be very difficult going to Munich for the second leg because they will be up for it. You know, Bayern Munich in the Champions League and the history they've got, and they're the sort of team as well at the moment, kind of like Chelsea. You wouldn't expect them to go on and win it, but with cup competitions, you just never know. Anything can happen. We didn't expect Real Madrid to win it last season. On paper, they weren't as good as some of the other teams around them, and like they knocked out, was it 3 English teams last season? So you just never know. But I do see Man City prevailing this, and you know what? I'm going to predict for the first leg, because Man City have been scoring quite a lot of goals recently, and well, pretty much Haaland is the reason why. Yeah, I'm going to go for like a 3-0 or a 4-1 win to Man City. I think at least by 3 goals. Not sure about the second leg yet, but we'll have to see what happens in the first. We will do another show talking about all the first leg games, which should be on Wednesday night this week. So do tune in for that. Yeah, 3-0 or 4-1, I think, to Man City. But like I say, I mean, that's just a prediction. You never really can know what's going to happen in cup competition. Do, if you are watching, smash the like, share, subscribe if you can. It means so much. And if you have your own predictions, please put them in the comments. And even if it's, you're putting in comments after we're live, I'll still always try and get back to you. Okay. Next one now. Benfica versus Inter Milan. Inter Milan not doing very well in Serie A at the moment. I think they're in 5th position, but they're doing very well in Champions League. And we're talking about the Serie A and the fact that the level of football over there has dipped, obviously, because to be fair, I think it was when the Ronaldo situation, when he signed for Juventus and the amount of money they spent on his wages. Ever since then, really, I just find that the lure of getting decent players in is not that great. You look at the Italian national team as well. It's not like they're churning out players in Italy really of a youth level. So it's quite surprising that Inter Milan, AC Milan and Napoli, 3 Italian clubs in Serie A, which is probably regarded as the 3rd or 4th, maybe even 5th to some people, best league in Europe at this moment in time. It's good to see them back to where they used to be in the 90s and the early noughties. But Benfica are doing really well, and we've spoke about this a lot. The amount of players, really good youth players, coming through at Benfica's ranks, and they're doing exceptionally well in the Portuguese top division. So with this one, I don't know, difficult. Really is difficult. I actually hope Benfica do well, because it has been a long time since Benfica, I think, have made. Has it been a long time since Benfica made a semi-final? I might have got that wrong. They might have made it a few years back. If someone's in the comments and they can let me know that, because that's something I didn't actually look up, how long it has been since Benfica made a semi-final. I know it's been a long time since they made a final, and they have got a good history in European competitions. But I want Benfica to win this, even though I'm like, when it comes to Portuguese football, I'm Sporting Lisbon all the way. I think that's mainly because of Ronaldo, Nani, and a lot of the players like Bruno Fernandes that have come out through that team. You know what? I'm going to go. This is difficult. For the first leg, I'm going to go Benfica 2, Inter Milan 1. I don't think it's going to be easy for Benfica. I don't think it's going to be a walkover. I think they're both evenly matched, to be fair. So 2-1, and it'll be a very interesting game at the San Siro, won't it? Definitely will. I'll try and watch all the games if I can, at least record them and try and watch them afterwards. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 on that one for sure. Let's have a look at the other fixtures. I can't remember who else there is. See, losing it here. So slow, the Wi-Fi today. It must be to do all that bloody rain. And now, by the way, it's sunny. It's English weather, people. It just can't make its mind up. I should be used to it, shouldn't I? But, I go to Spain quite a lot, so I'm just kind of like, I love the sun. I'm a little bit of a sun whore. That's what people call me. Um, Milan versus Napoli. This is interesting. An all Italian affair in the quarterfinals. They probably wish this wouldn't have happened. You don't really want to face teams from your own league, do you? Napoli will probably look at this and go, this is our best chance of making a semi-final. And I believe they can. They're storming away in Serie A. And I think Milan, AC Milan are fourth, one position above their rivals, Inter Milan. Again, another interesting tie. I think Napoli taking it home for the second leg is a very good advantage. We know how hostile it is for any team, not just Italian teams, but any European club to go to Napoli. It's a very hostile ground. We did see that as well, didn't we, with the internationals when England went there. It's going to be a very interesting tie indeed. And like we said, Napoli are on to win, I think, their first league title since they won it with Maradona. And could they go on to win the Champions League? That would be incredible. Their history of winning stuff isn't so impressive. The only times they've really won anything was with Diego Maradona in the late 80s. So it's nice for them to be able to start winning things again, because obviously he's seen as a god at the club, and like a year or two ago passed away, sadly. So this will be a nice dedication to him, I'm pretty sure, and to the fans, because the fans are incredible in Napoli. Yeah, you know what I mean? They really are. Naples. But it's going to be interesting, but I only see Napoli going through this. AC Milan is my adopted club when it comes to Serie A, the team that I like the most, that I have throughout all the years. I would love to see them go through, but look, I think Napoli, like I say, taking it at home for the second leg. First leg, though, I don't know. I reckon maybe like a 3-2. A 3-2 to Napoli away, because they're doing so well at the moment. I can see Napoli winning both legs. I can. I don't think Milan have got what Napoli have with their bench and their team. They've got some amazing players in Napoli. And I know a lot of them are probably going to be leaving in the summer because of the performances they have been putting in. You know, if you're like, I think they're like 20 or so points above anybody else in the Serie A that are. Shows pure dominance. Sorry, my mic went there. That shows pure dominance from Napoli. So yeah, 3-2 to Napoli, I think, for the first leg on that one. If you are tuning in, everybody, please smash a like, share, and do hit the subscribe button if you can. We're moving on to the next games now. And who is it? Let's wait, because the Wi-Fi is slow as shite. Who have we got? Oh, yes, this is an interesting one, isn't it? Indeed, because obviously Chelsea with the new manager, Frank Lampard, new manager, old manager, new manager, old manager, caretaker manager, interim manager, whatever he is. It's a very strange one indeed. Todd Bowley at Chelsea, very strange indeed. But could they do something here? It was Real Madrid who were the underdogs last year against teams like Chelsea, Man City and co. But it's all for Chelsea, really. On paper, you look at them, they've got enough on paper to be able to take it to Real Madrid. And again, I think it's a really good thing for Chelsea to be able to take this tie home for the second leg. But Real Madrid, I know that they haven't been doing so well in the Liga. They're second. Barcelona are running away with it. I think they're at least 11 or 12 points above Real Madrid. So I don't know. Difficult. Chelsea not having a good time at all, are they, at the moment? Very difficult for Chelsea in the Premier League to even probably get Europe. Is this their only chance of getting European football next season? Not too sure. Can Frank Lampard get anything out of the team? I know he knows some of the players because he was there before. Tuchel was there, etc. But Chelsea got to put the performances of their life in for these two games. And I think they actually could get through to the semi-final. They could. Like I said, on paper, they've got the credentials to be able to take out Real Madrid. But we all know what Real Madrid did last season. They seem to have this energy when it comes to Champions League football. And you know their history. and how many trophies they've won in the competition. So I would never put them off either. But they might be underestimating Chelsea. They might be seeing them in the league and thinking, yes, it's going to be a turnover. That could be a bad thing, though. And that could be like, this is Chelsea, the underdogs of this tie. And they've got to get something out of them. I don't know whether Frank Lampard's going to be able to do that or not. But let's hope. Let's hope. I like to see a good, interesting game between these two. There have been many between the two as well. So for the first time, I'm going to say Real Madrid win the first tie just to make the second tie more interesting. And I kind of think that Chelsea might actually win the second tie. Got something about it, this one. It's got something about this. Little bit of spice. So the first leg, I'm going to say Real Madrid win maybe 2-1. I think maybe Madrid are like winning 2-0 throughout most of the game, and Chelsea nick one back. Back in the day, that would have been great with the away goal, but just to make it like a nice, interesting second leg. 2-1 the first leg, and then Chelsea got to go on to at least score to take it on to extra time and penalties, or get a couple of goals themselves and not let in any. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens indeed. All right, let's move on to the next one. And that is, and we did Napoli and Milan. We've done it. We've done it. What do you mean the next one? That's it. They're all done. Brilliant. Well, it's very interesting vlog indeed. It was only pretty much a short one just to go through what I thought would happen in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We have got some shows coming up this week. We're going to be bringing back United across the globe. The Premier League weekend show will be back next week because I believe Anthony's not around at the moment. So we're going to get that back. And that's going to be every Monday, talking about all the big games that happened in the Premier League at the weekend. So that'll be back next Monday. Break for bank holiday. And Gunners from All Corners, hopefully we'll be getting that back soon. And we are bringing Theta back as well. I'm going to bring Esteban and Michelle back on the channel. We're going to be talking about the Argentinian leagues. We're going to be talking about the Colombian leagues, talking about the Brazilian leagues. I think the Brazilian league's very interesting to talk about at the moment because obviously there's a lot of clubs that are trying to send scouts over to specifically try and find upcoming talent, because there is a lot of amazing youthful players coming out of Brazil. We all know that Jesus has come out recently. Endrick, I think, who has gone to Real Madrid recently, very top talented player. And there's a few other players that have been touted to be, the next best thing since sliced bread. So it'll be very interesting to talk to them guys. And of course, Marley will come on as well and represent the Brazilian side of things, so he can tell us what's going on in the league. Of course, MLS. We'll be talking about MLS and the Mexican League, Liga MX. So that's it from me today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Smash the like, share, subscribe if you can. Let me stop the screen on this one. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for supporting us. We literally do this channel for fun. I try and just do things when I want to do things. And I enjoy it. I enjoy having people like you to chat to. And if you want to come on the show anytime you want, just get in touch with us on Twitter, Instagram, Football United TV, or send us a comment below and I'll get back to you. Have a wonderful rest of your bank holiday weekend, wherever you are in the world. Have a brilliant week, and I will see you for the same show, this same show, Thursday, talking about the first legs of the quarterfinals. Until then, everybody, take care. Au revoir. Arrivederci.